women's pain is not being taken seriously. Do you know how many times I've been told I have IBS or anxiety? It's just like bullshit. After she has waited in the waiting room for nearly 8 hours and her pain is continuously being put as like not urgent, other people are getting pushed ahead of her. Finally, she ends up in a hospital bed and she has an ultrasound checking for torsion, which she had been warned could happen. And the doctor comes in and has read the ultrasound and said, you're fine. There's no torsion. And Ashley's like, are you sure? I really think there is. And she's really concerned, but she's starting to second guess herself. And she's saying maybe it was food poisoning. I don't know. And she keeps saying it really feels like torsion though. She's totally second guessing herself. And she's asked by the doctor what her pain level is from 1 to 10. And she says a 9. And the doctor then questions that and says, well, an 8 is unmedicated childbirth. So is it as bad as that? And she goes, well, I haven't experienced childbirth, so I don't know. And then she starts to re-question the pain again. And then she's questioning the scale because I think she was misunderstanding the scale. And all of it was just very messy and there was no support offered for her. Finally, she passes out from the pain and she wakes up. Turns out they had to rush her to surgery because the doctor had misread her ultrasound and she had torsion. And unfortunately, she lost one of her ovaries. So why is this episode so important? Well, it actually highlights a real problem in our healthcare system. And I spoke to a friend who works in this field of research, in medical research, and she shared some really interesting information with me. So until 1993, women were not required to be included in clinical trials in the US, which means that medical data that we've been working from on how pain works, how treatments performed, was gathered almost entirely from male subjects. So for half the population, that data is potentially inaccurate. And then if you go further, there's been a review of studies done on musculoskeletal pain, found that male patients were more likely to receive diagnostic testing and exercise recommendations, while female patients were more likely to be referred for psychological treatment. So when a woman says she's in pain, the system is more likely to treat it as an emotional problem rather than a physical one. And then a major study also found that when a female patient leaves an emergency department with a pain complaint, she is significantly less likely to have received any treatment for it than a male patient with the same complaint. So when healthcare providers were given a clinical scenario of a patient in pain and they were told the patient was female, they rated the pain as less intense than when the patient was a male. And these are real studies that have been done about. This is the system that women are navigating. So when they walk into a medical office and say, I'm in pain, they are not being taken as seriously as their male counterparts.